Welcome everyone to Hot D, episode 2. Last time, Rhaenyra is the queen, or princess, the crown princess, not the queen. Mm-hmm. And Daemon is going off to probably start a rebellion.
Or at least mull it over a little bit and make some kind of plans. I don't know if he's going to, start something right away or if he's just going to prepare, a just in case. Mm-hmm. I still don't really think that he wants to directly go after his brother.
I think that Alicent Hightower is likely in the next couple episodes going to be marrying the king, if I had to guess. I don't know the history that well, but I assume that that's going to come to fruition in some way, because Otto was kind of whoring out his daughter to the king the night that his fucking wife died.
Yeah.
Leave a like and subscribe. Check out Patreon for the uncut. Let's go. I wish that they chose... We saw, a clip of... we heard the song when we were getting started. It's cool. This is cool. I just wish they chose a different song. I'm all for reusing some themes and things to make references and stuff, but
I like this blood though.
Yeah, it's cool. The visuals are nice. I just wish that they chose they made a new song rather than just rehash the exact same song that we already heard.
It's just so iconic.
I guess this must be the family tree. Or what is it? 'Cause these are crowns here. Yeah, they are. Yeah, because that's Aaron and the crown, so that's Emma and Viserys.
That's kind of cool.
And that's Hightower over there, yeah. Showing all the ties of blood, all the family trees, all in this this stone maze.
Yeah.
And what's that?
I wish that they kept the song from the last episode that was had
Slightly
similar elements but was different.
Yeah, same.
That's kind of disappointing. Yeah.
With crabs?
Oh,
is this the pirates?
Ugh.
Oh, he's alive.
Look at those crabs. They're just... Oh.
Yeah, this is the triarchy, the pirate insurrection thing on the arm of Dorne. The stepstones. You wonder if what?
Well, I was going to say, they said that some guy was going after them, but I wonder if... Daemon is gonna start doing shit like this, going after
their problems,
problems and to look what I'm doing to
Well, yeah, I because that's kind of what he was doing with the city watch.
Mm-hmm. He's cleaning up the city,
but it's also he's just kind of vindictive and likes violence. Mm-hmm. So it's a double thing there where he gets something out of it. He gets to be a little bit brutal, but also he is solving problems in a very dramatic way, and word travels fast. That he's he's making all the change, and Viserys is just over there mourning the death of his wife and, marrying a 14-year-old.
He hasn't done it yet.
I think there was still...
there was other stuff in there. G Fuel or something.
Not bad. G Fuel and beer. Who knew that would be good?
Sir Ryan is a strong Lord Commander of the King's Guard. Would like to make haste in finding Sir Ryan's replacement on the King's Guard.
Your Grace, King's Guard must soon be restored to its full complement of 7. With the help of the Hand, I've invited a number of fine candidates to court. All have passed fair trials.
Oh boy.
4 ships have now been lost. Last one was flying my banner.
Oh.
The Stepstones have now grown into a conflagration, yet you sit here and dither about court business. I want to know what is to be done, and my men...
The Crown will compensate you for your ship and crew and make an offering to the men's family.
I don't want compensation.
He's, by the way, so rich. The Valyrians, I learned in the last, between this episode and the last one, the Valyrians are Valyrians. Valerion is their house name. And Valerion was King Aegon I's, the Conqueror's mother. So, it was Targaryen and Valerion. So, they have just as much of a tie to, old Valyria as the Targaryens do. And this guy, Lord Valerian, he's obviously Rhaenys's husband. Mm-hmm. And he is, they're, super duper rich. They're so Otto over here is we'll pay it off, do whatever. Don't worry about it. He's just I don't want your fucking money. They're burning my coastline right now and interrupting business. It's not about the compensation for a couple ships. Like, I can buy a couple ships. What I can't buy is a fucking supply line to the free cities and shit.
I want to seize the stepstones by force and burn out this crab feeder.
I am not prepared to start a war with the free cities.
These pirates are not the free cities.
Who do you think provides them with their ships and tender?
The Seven Kingdoms have never entered open war with the free cities. Were that to happen, the losses would be incalculable.
He wants to start a world war with Essos.
What reason does the crab feeder have to fear us?
Dragons!
The king's own brother has been allowed to seize Dragonstone and fortify it with an army of his gold cloaks.
I wasn't sure if he was going to go to
Half a
Dragonstone
year without even a protest from the crown.
I'll caution you, Lord.
or
Prelate.
Summerhall.
Oh, he's been there for half a year, they say?
Little time
With an
skip.
army of his gold cloaks.
A seat at the king's table does not make you his equal.
Coming from
I
you.
have acted, Gorlius. I've sent envoys to Pentos and Volantis to see if we might find common cause. Ships and men are at the ready. The stepstones will be settled.
You have dragon riders, father.
You mean you?
Send us.
His only heir? Yeah, right.
Isn't that simple?
At least the princess has a plan.
It's just really hardcore, though.
But
It's like if they go after them with dragons, you're just like, just not like, I mean, not that you want to give them a chance, but it's just gonna, you know what I mean?
Well,
like where does it stop if you?
It stops with, I'll burn you. I like it stops with, you can't just like, because what they're doing is just bullying the Seven Kingdoms so that they get some of the business. Like they're funding pirates is the idea. Is the theory that they have, is that they're funding pirates to fuck up the coastline and mess up the supply lines so that people in the free cities, all like the magistars and all the merchant princes of the free cities can scoop in on all the business instead. But so there's nothing really they can do other than pay them off, and they can handle it diplomatically. Or they can, do what they do best, which is use their dragons to say, hey, stop fucking with our business. But obviously Viserys doesn't want to do that because it's dangerous.
Perhaps there's some better use for the princess's talents, Your Grace.
Wait.
why don't you take the princess to see about the new King's Guard posting, Lord Commander?
A fine idea, Your Grace.
This knight will protect you as well. You should choose.
Nice little free trial of what she'll get if her dad dies.
Yeah, exactly.
You might thank him for his loyal service, Princess.
We thank you for your loyal service to the crown, sir.
She's like, this is really? See what it's like?
Sir Ryman Mallister. Sir Ryman was knighted at 8 and
Do
10.
any of these knights have combat experience?
None. Oh,
One of them.
a high tower?
Kristen Cole,
Oh no.
son of the steward of the Lord of Blackhill.
Be welcome. You saw combat in the Stormlands.
Dornish marches, Princess. Fought for a year as a foot soldier against the Dornish incursions. Sir Arlen Dondarrion knighted me after we raised two of the watchtowers along the Bone.
I choose Sir Kristen Cole.
Let's not be too hasty, Princess. There's no doubt Sir Kristen is a fine warrior, but houses such as Crickle and Alistair are important allies of the crown.
How about
Seagull,
shut
for
the
instance,
fuck
is the
up?
realm's prime defense.
Let's compromise your safety just to not step on other people's toes.
But there are political matters at hand, and
she's just like,
why not
oh,
give them to the people that I like?
She's just like, who's gonna be the best guard? All right, that guy.
Easy.
Then he's just like, well, who is to my advantage to have
Yeah.
here?
My father should be defended by a man who's known real combat.
It's like what Rhaenys was talking about at the tourney. She's just like, they're
Of
all
course, Princess.
full of blood and
Kristen's invested
cum
you
and
now.
shit.
It is truly wondrous what you've built.
Oh, no. I only pore over the histories and provide the plans.
That's so
The stone
fucking
masons
cool.
built the structures.
Oh.
Do you believe that Westeros can be another Valyria, Your Grace?
That depends whether you speak of the freehold at its height or at its fall. The glory of old Valyria will never be seen again. 7 hours.
Oh, that's a bad omen. I wonder if that's foreshadowing. The glory of old Valyria will never be seen again. I, the king, and the one who could make it happen. Oh shit! I dropped this dragon that I made and built with my hands.
Shit, I dropped this dragon and I'm gonna marry my daughter's best friend. Shit.
Oh no, this is so weird, man. This is so weird.
How is Rhaenyra?
What do you mean?
Well, these days she doesn't say more than a few words to me. I wish she would approach me.
What if you went to her?
There are times when I would rather face the Blackbird himself than my own daughter of 15. You do not mention our talks to Rhaenyra, do you? I fear that she wouldn't understand them.
No, Your Grace.
Doubtful that she would, Your Grace.
And already they tried to marry my father off and replace me as heir. I know those men had a plot in their secret councils when I was...
They certainly do.
Is that what's gonna happen? Is like, if there's like another big time skip, she marries the king, they have a kid, and then Rhaenyra ends up just like her uncle, and then has to go to fucking Dragonstone. I bet that's gonna happen. That would be
That'd be
unbelievable.
like a huge betrayal on every level.
I mean, that's 3 for 3. First Rhaenys, then his brother, and then Rhaenyra. Mm-hmm. I think he's a good king. I think he's a fair guy. I think that he's a little bit weak. He's a little bit blind, but he's a nice person who wants the best for his subjects, and that's all you really need. But the problem is, he just is. God damn it, dude.
What if your father were to remarry? Your father loves you.
She asks with no ulterior motives.
He chose you for his heir.
For
He
now.
didn't choose me, he spurned Damon.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Exactly.
That's the whole problem of it in the first place.
I want him to see me as more than his little girl. Mine own father does not know the language of girls either. When I wish to talk with him, know that I must make the effort. Thank you.
Just some motherly advice.
Can someone answer in the comments if that's the Sept of Baelor? Because
I'm pretty sure people said that
it hasn't been built yet. Yeah, I know, but it looks like it.
It'd just be a different set.
Yeah.
I wanted to assure you how much I value the bond between our houses. Rhaenys is my favorite cousin, after all.
Oh boy.
None among us desire open war. Might I speak plainly, Your Grace?
Well, you haven't seemed to do anything else.
Thoughts in my camp. Do you have a specific course of action to propose, my lord?
Join our families. Wed our daughter Laena. Unite the two great surviving
like
Valyrian houses.
2-year-old daughter.
The Targaryen dragons and the Valyrian fleet bound in blood. You can show the realm that the crown's strongest days are ahead.
I mean, you're literally already related, so
No.
Them two are cousins.
Distant relatives, but you got to remember they're fucking Targaryens.
I guess so.
A distant relative doesn't mean that much to them. Like,
I suppose
only like you have to be very close.
It hasn't even been half a year since Emma passed.
The realm expects you to take a new wife sooner or later, Grace, to strengthen your line and produce more heirs. You could not ask for a stronger match than Laena.
That's true. It's true. It's fucked up, but it's true. 13's too young. I'd rather go for a 15-year-old.
We haven't spoken much.
I'd like to keep it that way.
A regret of mine. We should be free to speak our minds to one another.
You can say whatever you'd like. You are the king.
I loved your mother.
So awkward.
Today at small council,
Pay no mind.
I thought I might have had some insight.
You're young.
But
You will learn.
Great conversation, dude. Ugh.
That's gross. Pause it for a second. It's literally you will learn, but I won't teach you. I'll send you away if you like say something that my bros over here don't like. You can go and pick out a knight.
It's not about what they don't like. It's about what he doesn't like. He
It's-
was already saying he was already disagreeing with them. It's that he was not keeping control of that conversation very well, and she made it worse because she undermined him by suggesting that she had a better answer, and that I keep not wanting to mispronounce his name, Lord Valerian. The fact that he like favored Rhaenyra's thing, like yeah, fucking so bad.
Oh, his cut on his. Just take that off. Just take
Cut it off
right
now.
off. You should.
This is our best chance to save the digit. Your Grace.
Save the digit.
The maggots will remove the dead flesh and hopefully stop the advance of the rot.
That's disgusting.
With Lord Corlys and Princess Rhaenys.
That's most charitable of you, Your Grace. I'm sure Lord Corlys appreciated the spirit of it.
He proposed a marriage.
To whom?
He's all
Your
ticked
Grace.
off because he wanted
To
to.
Lady Lena. To combine the strength of our houses.
The Maester's like, oh shit.
Lord Corlys has overreached, Your Grace. Such matters must be discussed with a small council.
That is what I'm doing. Presently. What is your advice,
He's all
dear?
ticked off about it.
The Lady Lena is young.
Okay.
Indeed, but the wound uniting the two great Valyrian houses would certainly signal unity throughout the realm.
I do fear what Rhaenyra might think.
What does it matter, Your Grace? Her mother has passed. Her father must propagate the royal line.
It's interesting for a maester to be, I mean, maybe he doesn't have such strong allegiance to House Hightower, but usually it's kind of implied that the Hightowers and the maesters are kind of like on the same team a little bit. So it's kind of interesting that he's very clearly going against, despite the look that the maester gave Otto.
It seems like I mean, it's so messed up because she's literally a child, but it like the reasoning is so there, but of course, Otto is just like he's been waiting for him to just like keep rejecting the idea, and then until his daughter is close enough with him that when he like somehow like slips it in there, it'll seem like a more appealing idea than anyone else.
Father must propagate the royal line.
I don't like him marrying a 12-year-old or however young she is. That's not a good thing. But I also don't want Otto to have a tighter grip on the fucking kingdom. Oh, did you see that look? Was he setting him up? It seems like he's like playing good cop, bad cop. Like, look at this. This is the second. Is that a look of like, got you there, bitch?
Yeah, I know. Okay.
This is where he gives his answer.
What's it like flying the Black Dread? You were Valerian's lost rider.
With Balerion died the last memory of Valyria of old.
Vagar still lives.
Oh, this is so bad.
Somewhere.
This is not. I can. This is already not happening. He's definitely gonna marry the other
For
girl.
our world.
Your Grace, it would be a great honor to join our houses as they were in Old Valyria. I would give you many children of pure Valerian blood so that we might strengthen the royal line and the realm.
Is that what your father told you to say?
Yes.
Yeah. He's just like
What
Jesus.
did your mother tell you?
That I wouldn't have to bed you until I turned 14.
That's not right. That's not right. Why don't you marry the son to Rhaenyra instead? But then he's giving up the throne to another house, I guess.
It bothers you, does it not?
Yeah.
It should bother you.
That's your child. That's your...
As a king,
It's your baby.
it is his duty to take a new wife and strengthen his line.
I did not ask for a lesson in politics. I asked whether this bothers you.
I love her so much.
Does it bother you?
Of course it does.
Yeah.
I would hope so.
But I understand the order of things. I'm not sure you do. His new wife will produce new heirs, and chances are better than not that one of those will be male. And when that boy comes of age and your father has passed, the men of the realm will expect him to be heir, not you.
What are you gonna do, Rhaenyra? You know it.
Because that is the order of things.
Take it from her. Take it from her.
I'm creating a new order.
Take it from her.
Oh, I wish that could be Rhaenyra.
They denied you, Princess Rhaenys.
She had a stronger claim than
Queen who never
Viserys.
was. But they bent the knee to me and called me heir to the throne.
Oh,
Your father's men of that as you carry their cups.
I bet if you held the same council,
Here is
they would
the
have
hard truth.
chosen his
No
brother.
one else has the heart to tell you. Men would sooner put the realm to the torch than see a woman ascend the Iron Throne.
What if the woman torches the realm?
And your father is no fool.
Funny that the one time a woman does walk on the Iron Throne, both times future women sit on the Iron Throne, they both absolutely fucking destroy.
To be fair, they're both absolute psychos at that point, so...
You don't think they're psychos? These inbred fucking albino inbred weirdos? You think they're sane?
Seems the realm wants for a new queen.
Good and kind queen will give comfort to your subjects.
Is the show trying to make us think that this is okay by comparison? The fact that they're like, oh, but she's so young, and then they show you a literal child, like a literal toddler in a dress.
Yeah, they're like, this is a 15-year-old. Everyone's like, that's
fucking
that's
ew, dude, gross. And then it's just like, this girl's 12. I mean, it's not that bad to marry the 15-year-old.
If it's between the two, there's certainly a better option, although neither are good.
Also, I just realized in that scene with the two princesses that the emblem in that the blood all like went into
Yeah,
was
her necklace. Yeah, I saw that too.
I don't know Lena very well.
I'm sure that she is good and kind,
It's probably for
And
the
she
best
enjoyed
because she's a
company.
child.
as I have, Your Grace. I brought you something.
Fixed it or got a new
I
one
asked the
made.
stonemasons to mend it.
This is a very kind gesture, Alicent. Very kind.
Come.
The hand, Your Grace.
Oh boy.
Your Grace, I've called the small council to an emergency session.
Why?
Damon.
I think it best you hear it directly.
Very well.
The rogue prince is on the move. I mean, he's burning all those fucking pirates, like you said.
Atroxio sintroro macetas, exis lubes. Masso gendona, lodicio e
The thief? Wait.
Dariloros daimon sicia sidas egliseus.
I like that in Valyrian they say
It is the
diamond.
pleasure
Like,
of Daemon Targaryen, the Prince of Dragonstone and rightful heir to the Iron Throne, to announce that he is to take a second wife in the tradition of old Valyria. She is to assume the title Lady Missaria of Dragonstone. Her grace is with child.
His paramour.
And is to have a dragon's egg placed in the babe's cradle.
Just
in the custom of House Targaryen.
To solidify the claim of the child.
Invited you to his wedding.
Oh!
This is nothing less than sedition. I strongly agree, sir.
He wants to legitimize his heir and his marriage.
To answer is to give him what he wants.
The realm is watching, Your Grace.
What would you have me do? Send him to the wall. Perhaps I could put his head on a spike.
There's a dragon and an egg. Wait, which egg? What does that mean?
Her?
No.
Oh.
That's
Bastard.
Assemble a detachment.
Oh, God.
Go to Dragonstone and drag David back to face justice myself.
Oh, no.
My apologies, Your Grace, but I cannot allow it. It's too dangerous. Let me go to Dragonstone.
Don't let him go to Dragonstone. Do not let Otto fucking Hightower go. Oh, Jesus.
The worst.
Well, and so it begins.
You're the most comely guarded court. Why do you destroy yourself?
Let me see the king tonight.
If you wish it.
I didn't realize it was self-harm.
My lady.
She's like so stressed out. She's just picking.
Yeah, but I didn't like. It seems more like a self-harm than just like a nervous tick. Like it seems like she kind of gives into a little bit.
Sahara will also join us.
By the way, I love the new Kingsguard armor a lot more than the original shows. Oh boy.
That's a crazy boat.
There it is. The beach looks a lot more rocky in this show, which makes sense. It's a volcano, but it was like very sandy in the other show. Oh, shite. That looks so nice. I like it's the same walkway. They walked that same shit in the show. I like the little tie-ins.
So bad.
With 2 Kingsguard, he's gonna burn them for sure. Oh! It's so smoky. Oh, they're being met on the walkway. With the egg.
Just to
in her wedding dress.
Just to rub it in their face so that they can't take it from him.
Dragonstone, Otto.
Your occupation of this island is at an end.
Is it?
You're to relinquish the dragon's egg, disband your army, banish your whore, and leave Dragonstone by order of His Grace King Bizzare.
Where is the king? I don't see him.
His Grace would never lower himself to entertain such a mama's farce.
And I love how the Kingsguard like lowers his head like he wanted to go. He wanted to go. This would have been so much better. Like, but he can't talk because it's his vow.
Yeah.
I like that. Just that small look and the fact they include this shot.
His Grace would never lower himself to entertain.
And he's just
such a
like,
mama's farce.
Great.
Thanks for saying that
Yeah.
when it's literally not true.
Just escalating it.
Yeah,
Like, just,
he's just trying to be like, you idiot. But it's like, no, now you're just pissing him off and lying and being an idiot. When especially like I think if the king showed up here, he wouldn't just burn them to shreds, but he doesn't care about you idiot. Like, why are you trying to make this guy angry?
Sir Crispin, wasn't it?
Sir Kristen Cole, my prince.
Ah, yes, apologies. I couldn't recall.
Perhaps my prince recalls when I knocked him off his horse.
Very good.
This is a truly pathetic show.
You've come for the egg. Here it is.
Are you mad? You've never survived this.
Well, happily, neither would you.
To choose violence here is to declare war against your king.
is he gonna say it? I choose violence.
Even if it ends in the death of your unborn child and its mother.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Now you forget that he has a dragon.
Yeah, I don't know
buddy.
how you could have forgotten that. The creepiest, coolest looking dragon in the whole fucking series. Oh! Caraxes.
I love the sounds.
Also, I thought the Kingsguard were unable to harm royal blood.
All of you.
Or unable to strike them. Good move, shithead. Is there another
one? Is that the girl one that was disappeared? Oh,
No, Rhaenyra.
Oh, great. Now there's 2 dragons. Incredible.
I'm glad. That's fucking nice. I'm glad she did that. I'm so glad. You can smooth it over. There's still time. I know this ends in a civil war. I know, obviously, that's the conflict of the show. But at least somebody's making at least somebody's not just like trying. Like it's not like, oh, we were supposed to fight, so let's just fight. It's like there's forces trying to keep things civil.
It's
obviously,
just
Daemon's just an asshole, and he stole the egg. And he's trying to provoke conflict because that's who he is. But the fact that there are people trying to talk it out, not just trying to like gut people just because they pissed them off. Or
just like go there and like with 0 high ground.
Yeah. At least there can be some kind of discourse, and we tried everything before just like resorting to outright violence for no reason.
What are you doing here, Princess?
Preventing bloodshed.
Sir Kristen, please escort the princess to safety.
Take care of Princess Iraq's my lords. She's rather protective of me. Kepa nocha ineza dritoro. Esu ugleisa luon zombars me nuhon isa.
Yesila vosse euro tao.
Ne drosso dari ohi ikida.
Indrari onorion tao. Nike de Niklas.
Apraziri ziriema.
Tretan li tao.
Just suit nuchon vronkron. Dromon laudigon ao belvitas.
Konir nuhon rupo sutailan.
Sikilat.
Vasilari to me.
She's not pregnant? She's not pregnant?
Right here, Uncle. The object of your ire. The reason that you were disinherited. If you wish to be restored as heir, you'll need to kill me. So do it. And be done with all this bother.
Giga Chad. He won't do it. He's not heartless. He's not a piece of shit.
Yeah.
He wouldn't do that. Rhaenyra's fucking awesome.
Just comes up and just completely calls
just
his
says
bluff.
it all.
Just
yeah.
like Otto Hightower rolls up, tries to threaten him. It's like, what?
You're gonna threaten the You're going to threaten the dragon.
That's exactly what I said. That's why I was like, if the king actually went, this same result probably would have been like, you know what I mean? Like, different, but he wouldn't have just smoked them with his dragon if they took a step too far.
Yeah, because Rhaenyra's fucking awesome. Because Daemon cares.
He cares
he's not
his family. He doesn't.
Piece of shit.
His first choice is not to kill his entire family and take the throne by murdering
I still want to
them.
find out if he actually had a hand in the miscarriage or something. Like maybe if he paid off the maester or if he did something.
I don't think so.
I doubted
honestly.
the fact that she had like 5 other miscarriages, basically. Yeah, I don't know. That's why I love Daemon, is that he has so many different sides to him. He has ambition, and he's vindictive, and he has the fire and blood aspect, but he also is loyal. He's fiercely loyal, even if he's like very insubordinate.
Yeah,
he doesn't want to. He values his family. That's something that he cares about. He doesn't take pleasure in destroying the Targaryen name or the people that he cares about. He has a sense of class to him in that way, and that's why he's fucking cool. And he likes Rhaenyra. They clearly have like a romantic sort of tension there, obviously, but it's also that he genuinely cares about her. Also, I might have not understood. He lied about his wife being pregnant, right?
It seems like
he like implied it, but didn't. She's not actually pregnant.
Mm-hmm. And I also wonder if she got pissed off and left because she knows that he likes his niece. Instead, specifically, if you remember the previous scene when he was like having a little bit of trouble, and then she's like, "Oh, do you want me to get someone with like a
young girl with silver hair?" Yeah, a maiden with silver hair.
Clearly, that girl rolls up and then basically just
replaces her
immediately, like instantly. She's just useless. She might as well not be there.
Yeah. This is a great scene. Rhaenyra is awesome. I really like Daemon. I fucking hate Otto.
Otto's so shitty.
What are they doing? Are they gonna try and hatch this egg?
Or is it just supposed to be kept warm?
Oh, I guess, or else they turn to stone. If they get
he probably had it in one of those, like, in the house.
And Otto just got snubbed. That was his chance to, like, really get some power and some favor with the king, and she just literally swooped in and solved it. But not solved, but, you know, it's still not perfect, but it's at least better.
Now what?
Epic. This show's great. Ooh, the room where it happens. She's not happy.
You announced that we were to be wed?
On the morrow.
And that I was with child. You swore to protect me, Daemon.
The stone is quite secure.
But now you're using me.
Until the king decides to reclaim his ancestral seat. His men might not put the prince's head on a spike, but what would they do with a Commoner he claims he's taken to wife and made with child?
No.
I like her accent.
I have been sold this property more times than I care to count. Most of my years have been spent living in terror.
You're safe with me, I swear it.
You are Targaryen. You can afford to play your stupid games with the king, but I cannot.
Is she leaving? He's gonna kill her.
Service wanting gold. I came to you to be liberated.
Liberated? From what?
Fear.
It was a pretty bad move on his part as well.
He's very emotional. It was purely an emotional move. It has no, like...
He was just trying to get his brother out there.
He's trying to piss his brother off, and like, because let's break that down for a second. The possible outcomes for him were he goads his brother into a war for succession, and then possibly wins based on his chances, whatever he thinks can happen. Or his brother has to go along with the marriage, go along with this and that, and then his children. And then their children fight a war of succession. Like he's not he's ambitious, but I like that it's more emotional. It's not so calculated. He's not like Otto. He doesn't think like that. He is it's purely a family matter for him. Not purely, but that's definitely a big element of it. He's such a cool character.
No, please, Lord Lionel. I have come looking for an unencumbered opinion.
That's all I would ever give, Your Grace. She comes from unimpeachable Valyrian stock, and she has Targaryen blood. What's to mislike?
She is 12.
She will mature. If you truly want my unencumbered opinion...
I do.
You should wed Lena Velaryon, Your Grace. Save Lord Corlys and fix him at your side.
It's definitely the right political move for sure. It's not a great moral one, but...
Your Grace, the princess has returned from Dragonstone. Dragon?
I hope
what?
I hope he takes this well. He probably won't.
She like solved everything. If he gets all in a hissy fit of
solve it, but she definitely did better than Otto. I really hope that he can listen for once, because he doesn't listen to her.
No.
I really hope he can listen. He probably won't, and probably drive the wedge further into them. And she's probably going to go off to Daemon if I have to. If I'm looking at the long game here, this is going to suck.
Without a word, and you acted without the crown's leave. You are my only heir. You could have been killed.
May I sit?
She's taking the power in the situation. This is good. This is good.
You went to Dragonstone.
And retrieve the egg without bloodshed.
feat I'm not sure Sir Otto could have accomplished alone.
Yes. Well,
Can't argue with that one.
I sometimes forget how alike you both were. Your mother's absence is a wound that will never heal. Without her, the Red Keeper's lost the warmth, and I dare say it will never recover.
It pleases me to hear you say this. To know that I'm not alone in my grief.
I wish I had known better what to say to you in the aftermath. I struggled to realize that my daughter had so quickly become a woman grown. But I know she understands what is now expected of me.
The king must take a new wife.
I could never replace your mother. No more than I intend to replace you as heir. But you are my only heir. And by marrying again, I may begin to ensure that we are better defended.
Against whom?
Whomever may dare to challenge us.
Well, Otto Hightower for a start.
I do not wish to make us estranged.
You are the king. And so your first duty is to the realm.
Oh,
Maybe
man.
you've understood this. Just as I do.
She still hasn't swallowed that pill, though. She still hasn't swallowed that pill. She says it, and I think she means it. She knows it's what has to be done. She
Yeah.
understands, but she fucking doesn't like it because the system's rigged against her, and there's nothing
Yeah.
she can do about it. It's so annoying.
And even if he, like, yeah, that's the whole thing. Where he says, I don't intend to replace you as the heir. It's like, well, it doesn't matter what you intend because...
And they both know that.
Because
They both
in
know
the
that.
event that she even has any claim, he will be dead and nothing he will have said matters.
It'll be the same shit that happened with Jaehaerys. Like, at the start of the show. It'll be
They'll
the
be
same,
like,
the
oh,
exact
well,
same thing. It's just like what
yeah.
Rhaenys was saying. It's spelled out and everybody knows it. But there's nothing they can do because the system's rigged against them. Also, how funny is it that, like, this is what the fucking story is about, and then there's just a bunch of idiots on Twitter and everywhere all over the internet freaking out that it's like a feminist story. I don't want to get into that, but it's like, that's just what the story's about, dude. Like, that's just what it's about. That's always what it's been about. That's nothing new, and it's just what the characters are doing. It's not... Like, it's not a forceful thing as if it hasn't been a theme throughout the whole story.
What would be the point of this story if she was the main character and was just completely fine with everything that was happening in every role she was expected to play?
Great
like,
conflict.
A great plot indeed.
So fucking stupid, dude. Oh, is he making his decision?
Looks like it.
His decision is Alicent, for sure. There's no way it's gonna fucking drive a wedge directly through. I bet Corlys is going to, if he refuses, he's gonna take his ships to Dragonstone.
No,
I bet he does that and he
just stacks the deck one by one.
I bet that's what he does. Or he advocates for his son, just on his own. He either advocates for his son or he tries to marry his daughter to Daemon. But I honestly doubt that because he doesn't really like him. But
No.
it's hard to say. Yeah, if he refuses, it's over. If he refuses, his reign is over. Like it's over.
I mean, it's already over. Before it's oh, she's there.
I have decided to take a new wife.
He's all happy about it.
This is fucking so bad. This whole situation is so bad. Oh, and he told her who it is. Obviously.
She's probably at least happier with that than
a child.
I intend to marry.
I can't watch, dude.
The Lady Alicent Hightower.
Fuck off. This is so dumb. Just walk out. Just walk out of the room.
This is an absurdity. My house is Valerian, the greatest power in the realm, and I am your king.
Oh my god.
See, this is his problem. He tries to, like, do a power play, but he's so bad that, like, no one like, respects it as a power play. They're just like, oh, well, I'll just do whatever I want. And
it's because he's emotional, too, just like his brother. He's emotional, too. He, like...
Is Valerian, the greatest power in the realm. And I am your king.
By the way, we're not saying it's bad that they're emotional or that they have their own
No.
feelings. It's not like a writing problem. It's
frustrating to watch for the characters.
It's heart-wrenching.
because
And it's not, obviously, like we've been talking about this whole time, we don't want him to marry a 12-year-old. But it's more complicated than that. It's just
It's like, once this happens, then he's setting in motion, like, it's everything that comes after this as a result.
I just wanted to clarify for everybody watching, like, oh, well, what? You want him to fucking... No, we don't want any of this. This sucks. This whole situation sucks. Walk out, dude. Play your game. Honestly, like, that's so fucked up.
Rhaenyra.
Like, that's the kind of move that's literally asking for a rebellion. Like, that's
Yeah.
it's literally asking for a civil war. Oh, is that the last dragon skull? Oh, no, never mind.
There's like
I'm getting my
dragons
timelines
around.
confused. Oh, is this his? This is his chambers.
Like a fish, it looks like.
House Valarian's origins reach back to old Valyria, more ancient even than House Targaryen. But unlike the Targaryens, we were no dragon lords. Unlike every other lord of the realm, I can say that I built my house's high seat with the strength of mine own back. I've always thought of you and I as having been made from the same cloth.
Sure.
Ha!
Sure.
I called it.
I wasn't aware you had a king for a brother.
We're both men who have had to cut our own way through the world. We've been passed over.
That's very #relatable, Lord Corliss.
You've heard of the troubles in the Stepstones?
Burn them all.
Yeah.
I've been
That's so...
king to say, I will not have Driftmark beggared while our king idles himself with feasts, balls, and tourneys.
I will speak for my brother as I wish.
But you will not.
You will not.
It's a chance for you to prove your worth to anyone
Yeah.
who might yet doubt it.
It's all coming together. Exactly how we didn't want it to.
It's all come together.
It must be made.
With fire and blood. What is that?
I don't know.
Good episode. We obviously talk a lot in these
Yeah.
these videos and pause a lot and everything, but it's still
Ugh.
worth it to talk afterwards.
It's just such a, like, you can just see all the mistakes coming, like, so far in advance, and you're just like, I know this is what's gonna happen, but I don't want it to. I want somehow for something else to happen.
What I like is how they're not making mistakes, how it comes slowly and with reluctance. How that's what I like about this, because often civil wars are like if you think about fucking, I mean, a similar thing happened in Game of Thrones season 1 with the War of the Five Kings. First, obviously all the events. I won't recap the whole thing, but like Bran falls, and then they suspect that it's this dagger. We need to find the connection. They go to King's Landing. Catelyn sneaks in. He talks to Littlefinger and Varys. Like all these little things. They gather some evidence, and then she takes Tyrion as a prisoner. And then, I just said I won't recap everything, but I guess I am. Anyway, but it reaches the point where it's like, call the banners, all of them, my lord. They vow to protect my lord father. Well, let's see how their words are worth. And it feels very justified and like good because we've waited, and now Ned Stark's in prison, and it's like the step too far. I like that. I guess they kind of did it there too. So they're doing a similar thing here where it doesn't come easy. It's nobody's first option except for fucking Hightower. Otto wants to, because I think like if there's violence and he can solve it, then that makes him more.
If there's violence, he can solve it, and there's pressure to produce a new heir.
He can be favorable. Yeah. He can get in the favor of the king, etc., etc. So like, it's violence is an opportunity, or like a civil war or possible conflict is an opportunity. The fact that Daemon is going off, but like the fact that Rhaenyra and Viserys, who's like, he's very on the fence. He's very back and forth. He's ruined by the death of his wife and all the responsibilities he has. He's not taking being a king well. But that doesn't mean that he wants his brother to die. That doesn't mean that he wants a civil war. He doesn't. He like he said to Corliss, I think. It's the last possible solution. He doesn't want it, but he's a little bit too reluctant because pirates are scouring their coastline.
And that's the other thing as well, is if he had agreed to do something about it in the first
or
place,
just let him do it. Let the master of ships handle it.
If he had made a different choice in that first council meeting, then he might have not needed to pull in the favor of like, oh, well, now's the perfect opportunity since you said no to me. Now here's my daughter served up in a silver platter for you. He probably was still waiting for but like that's the type of thing that if he put it in the right moment, which he did, it was an extremely difficult thing for him to refuse, which then he did again, which was just the final step too far. Which is just, it's so dumb. Yeah, like we've said many times, I don't want him to marry a 12-year-old, but since he didn't, now there's going to be so many more problems.
The thing is, there's one wife too many here, even without Alicent. Because here's like there's a bunch of options we talk about. Obviously, a clear option would be marry Rhaenyra to Daemon, and then she can be queen, he can be king. Civil War ended, but then there's the Valerians and Rhaenys, and they have their kids who they believe have a claim. And what happens to them? Then they're left out of any kind of marriage. What, are we going to like promise 30 years from now that or 20 years from now that their kids
will marry them?
Like, it's too complicated. So what? Does Daemon marry? He'd leave him as heir, then he marries? Well, then what about Rhaenyra? She's probably not going to revolt, but it's still really fucked up, you know?
Well, if her father has another son, then and like it seems like she's not gonna, be the heir, and Daemon's doing whatever he wants. Like I wouldn't doubt her to potentially run off if her father just keeps taking steps down the wrong road, keeps making mistakes, and not prioritizing her in any possible way. I wouldn't doubt it for her to eventually get fed up and either go to Daemon or do her own thing. Mm-hmm. It's not unlikely and it's not unjustified. With just being constantly, you're there and we'll say that you're good enough, but you're not actually, and you'll never be the queen.
Yeah, exactly.
Essentially. Because he knows it. Like, everyone knows. And it's the same thing of like, in that conversation of like, I'll never replace your mother, but he's going to. And I'll never replace you as my heir, but he's going to. Mm. It doesn't matter if he doesn't want to, but he
Alicent doesn't want to.
Yeah,
Otto wants to, obviously. Mm-hmm. But everybody's very reluctant. Nobody wants any of this, but it's their responsibility, it's their duty. It's very in line with and I think it's why this series feels so true to like the first seasons of Game of Thrones. It's very in line with the core themes of A Song of Ice and Fire of like duty versus honor. Or not duty versus honor. Duty versus honor, or love versus duty, etc., etc. What, your values. Do you value your responsibilities over the ones you love, or do you value your own heart over your vows, etc., etc.? Mm-hmm. It's very strongly related to that, and this show, by the way, is hitting it out of the park for me. It's awesome. Mm-hmm. It's so good. It honestly feels more like I haven't read any of the books, but we've been listening to the Duncan Egg books, and after just listening to like the first 1.5 of those and getting kind of a better sense, and the first like quarter to a half of the Game of Thrones book, which we've listened to, this in a way in like tone, this feels a lot closer to like what the books kind of feel like in a way, and just like the whole presentation in general. It feels very not so strictly we are like historical fantasy, like trying to not be, there's no magic, there's no dragons, or like it's very special, whatever. There's a very clear like fantasy bend, and it feels like a different world. It feels like an original place here.
I really love the two princess conversation as well.
Yeah.
It's really an interesting thing.
I love Rhaenys. She's fucking awesome.
I really like her. And I can see that Rhaenyra just like doesn't want to just be her again. Yeah. Doesn't want to be like fully capable of doing everything, but still pushed to the side when the moment comes.
They're even named after the same princess.
And I think also she doesn't want to be forced into the the role, which, like, you know, we've seen from Cersei, we've seen all over the place of, like, you know, you try your best, you'll never get anything, so then you have to play the power play with your children and, like, sell them around. Like, is that the future? Like, yeah. And that's also, like, you brought up before, like, people who are getting so mad of, like, oh, the feminist show. It's like, why would she be happy? Like, why would she have any other reaction when she's being told, okay, here's your job, have kids, nothing else, and then marry them off to a 40-year-old man when they're 12?
Yeah.
Like, why would anyone be happy with that? Like, your childhood friend, your seemingly only friend, marries your dad when she's the same age as you. Like, why? This is not a world. Just the world itself is just not one that is doing any favors to her at all. So why wouldn't she fight against it? You know,
it's not a new thing that it has a feminist bend to it. You know, George Martin has said that he doesn't. I think somebody asked him once if he considered himself
watching that interview.
Yeah, if he considered himself a feminist, and he said he wouldn't, based on how kind of crazy feminists can be these days. He didn't want to presume himself to be a feminist because, like, some feminists believe that men can't be feminists, that they, you know, it's not right for them to, like, advocate in that way or to take on that title. But he doesn't deny that he, you know, believes in the cause that people should be equal, and et cetera,
he basically said yes, but I'm not going to claim that title for myself.
Yeah, because there's crazy people out there who think that for some reason it's wrong for him to do so because he's a man, which we won't get into too deep into that part of the conversation because it doesn't matter. What matters is it's always been a thing in the show. It's always been a thing. And one thing that I was kind of on the fence about in terms of, like, politicizing the show was Corlys, I keep forgetting how you pronounce it. The fact that he's black, that's, like, an obvious thing in the show that was a choice that they made. And they're, like, justifications like, oh, he's, you know, they never say he's not black. But it doesn't matter, first of all. Second of all, I think he's doing a great job in the role. That's what matters to me most. And, the fact that, you know, it's an ancient civilization of Valyria. You know, there's a lot of murky waters in, like, in what we know of the history and everything. In the end, I don't really care. Is what it comes down to. But also, especially in reading or listening to Duncan Egg, there's plenty of Targaryens who even Rhaenys isn't supposed to have, like, platinum blonde hair. No, I think she's supposed to have, like, a streak or, like, some streaks of the Valyrian locks. But for the show, they made it, like, they wanted to have that identity, that very clear visual identity. But in the books, there are plenty of Targaryens. Most Targaryens, as it turns out, don't have platinum blonde hair. Because the bloodlines haven't been kept 100% pure over the last hundreds of years. So you know, I'm not so hung up on that detail. Regardless, but I think the point of bringing all this up is, like, it doesn't matter because it's not none of this stuff. Whether it's, like, you think that there's too much modern political conversation going on in this story that's, like, set in a medieval time. It's not, I don't feel like a political impact on the story, really, as far as the story that they're telling. I don't think it's really strongly, like, diverting the tone or the presentation of the themes that are being described. I think that it's always these conversations, not necessarily with the Valerian thing, but with feminism, it's always been a core theme. George Martin has said, like, he wrote so many different female characters so that, like, because it's not, like, women are just people, and, like, he wanted to talk about there's very traditional, like, female heroines who, like, use their femininity like Marjorie, who are kind of very strong with the system. They use the system to their advantage. Yes, even though it's, like, against them and she's just a tool for making children, etc., etc. She takes that strength and that power in her femininity. Then there's people like Brienne who reject it or have it rejected for them because she's not pretty. She has to make her way another way, and because she's tall, etc., etc. And then there's Arya who actively rejects it despite being able to be, like, a normal lady.
And then people like Catelyn who are just part of it.
Who are just take
not
her
even
motherhood.
playing
Yeah.
it, not doing anything with it, just
Fierce
finding the
mother
role
bear type.
but enjoying it. And that's the thing. It's
despite being married off to 2 different guys, one of which died, the other one she didn't want to marry.
It's interesting, and I like that there's so many characters in this world because exactly not every one is going to be the same. So it's nice to explore many different ones and. Just given the setting of this world, it makes sense that most of them are not going to be content. Most of them are not going to be Catelyn Stark just having a good time with her life.
Like Cersei.
Exactly.
Cersei was not content. She
and
literally...
Cersei originally, like actually in Cersei's story, she was like happy at first.
Yeah.
Of, like, this is great.
In the show, yeah.
I've won. And then it's like, just kidding.
Yeah.
Not even close.
Loveless marriage, he says the name of another woman in the marital bed. Yeah, it's not right, and it's the fact that the show is exploring that is not only not new. There's nothing wrong with it, and it's not like again. That's the thing is I think a lot of people get mad about the whole like political conversation or the politicization of things in media because they're like, oh, they're just like injecting a very. I feel like it's non-diegetic. It doesn't feel like it should exist in the world, or it feels like it's imposed by like producers, or it's imposed by by Twitter and some weird conversation. And that definitely happens sometimes, and it's fucking annoying. But the way that if you want to discuss these types of issues, the way that you do it, in my opinion, is what they're doing here, where it is a diegetic part of it is a likely road that it's taking on. Like it's discussing these things because it's just what happens in the world, and it's what Martin wants to write about. It's not anything.
Honestly, I think that people who are like, this one is so crazy for being like this, I think they're just misremembering Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
And just mad and paying so much attention to it. It's like, are you really gonna like freak out and throw a hissy fit because you are like imposing your own ideas of what's going on with this show?
That the thing with that is I can kind of understand why there's a dissonance there. Like, say if you're a guy who doesn't like if you're a dude on the internet and you're just like, I don't want like a feminist story, I want a more traditional fantasy story.
Maybe this one's not for you.
That's not what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is in Game of Thrones, the show, there's like 50 different storylines going on at once. So if you don't like the very Yas Queen of Daenerys shit that's going on, then you can go over to Robb Stark or Ned Stark even, because it starts out with Ned Stark. He's the main character. Or you can go over to Tyrion, who's all talking about tits and wine and stuff. And like is very, like the more you can pay attention more to the masculine side. I think that's what they did. I think that, or Jaime's story. Yeah. I think people pay more attention if you don't like that side of things. You don't pay attention to the Cersei chapters or the Arya chapters or Sansa or whatever. Maybe that doesn't interest you as much. What interests you is like with the Targaryen side, all the dragon shit, or Khal Drogo being a badass in the early season. And probably more like Robb, Ned Stark, Bran, his like hero's journey type thing. There's something for everybody, and this one's a lot more focused. And I think that's why people are focusing on this part of the story a lot more, is because the show is focusing on this type of story, this like a much more dismal view of female life and royalty, or nobility even, or just female life. It's an allegory, right? So. I think that's partly why. It's not just that. I think people are just noticing it more. It was always there, but people could not pay attention and just pay more. Or Jon Snow. People probably paid. Yeah. The same people who are complaining probably paid way more attention to Jon Snow's very traditional shonen battle manga of like hero's journey, learning he has a secret heritage and having the magical sword and going up beyond the wall and braving danger and leading people and becoming king and all this shit. Yeah. They probably liked more shit like that, all the North stuff. But this is all very feminized and just in its nature, in the nature of the story. Rhaenyra is the main character. Yeah. So, like, it's just going to be that. It's
not equally split. We get scenes with other characters, but it's like drawn back to her at every sort of break in it. So it makes sense.
There's fewer perspectives. Yeah.
But it's not new.
It's not new at all. And it's honestly dumb that people are complaining, because they might just need to rewatch the show or read the books, or experience more of the story in general, like more of the world. I don't know, or just listen to what George Martin has to say. He's clearly been an advocate of all the shit. So Yeah. Anyway, I just feel like it's such a tumultuous conversation because it's such a loaded thing to talk about. So it's worth talking about because it's the kind of thing that people are talking about with the show. But I wouldn't personally be thinking about it that hard if other people hadn't been freaking out about it. Because
Exactly.
when I'm watching the show, I'm not taken out by the fact that, like, these themes are being explored. It's just a core part of the story.
Mm-hmm.
So, and in the way that they explore them, it's very tragic. It's a tragedy that, you know, people are trapped in their own responsibilities and they feel, or they can't make the mark that they want to make or do the things that they want to do because of bullshit, because they get married off by their parents for some stupid bloodline shit from hundreds of years ago in a society that doesn't exist anymore. This guy who is the master of ships and has his own ambitions and built his shit up from nothing. He's not, you know, he's not in the right here. He's trying to marry off his 12-year-old daughter. Like, he got snubbed for sure, but he wasn't, like, you know...
He wasn't cast out of society.
Yeah, the king just refused to marry a 12-year-old in favor of a 15-year-old. That's not much better, but still. Forget Alison Hightower. He's still being super opportunistic and propelling the same thing that snubbed his wife.
Yeah.
You know, the same. He's trying to make the system work for his advantage, and so is Rhaenys. She's like, but she's been beaten down in her own way. So I don't super blame her for feeling that way. But in the end, she still is feeding into the system that completely destroyed her life.
Yeah.
And all of her ambitions and ruined her chances of leadership. So, you know, it's not like her hands are clean either. Everybody's in a terrible situation.
If she wanted to, be all girl power, then she could support her niece instead. Instead, she wants her own kids.
Yes.
She wants her
selfish.
own daughter
Yeah.
to marry and have a son.
Because she feels like something was stolen from her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, so as much as I like Rhaenys, and as much as I think that Viserys made the wrong political move, even if I don't want him to marry a 12-year-old, he definitely disrespected them. They weren't in the right for sure. They're still
they
part
weren't
of the
in the
problem.
right, but they put him in a very hard situation.
They did, and they could have made a better compromise. But then again, the king also is fucking with them. Not only did he steal the crown, quote unquote, steal the crown, he took the crown from their perspective away from Rhaenys. And now he's trying to take it away from their family again, and he's not even letting. He's like actively he's passively sabotaging their means of funding.
Well, that's what I was saying. If he hadn't so blatantly snubbed them in front of everyone, then they may not have had as much of a claim with the, like, marry my 12-year-old.
Yeah.
They might not have, because it was the perfect opportunity to bring it up of, like, oh, you did this to us, now do this as a favor.
Yeah.
And then no one can disagree with it because it's a good move. But if they had just pulled that, it's clear that they had been telling him, oh, you need to take a wife, but no one had thrown out a specific suggestion of, like, marry my daughter. It was, but he basically created a situation that put him in their debt.
Yes.
And then just ignored it again.
Yeah.
Which is a step too far, and seems to be it seems to be his strategy, and it's not a good one.
Overall, great episode. I think I've said my piece on this one. Super. I can't wait to see what happens next. I can't wait to see Daemon just burning everything. One last thing, actually. I said everything. I love, again, how loyal Daemon is.
Yeah.
How he doesn't let this guy.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think that he straight up wants to murder his brother.
Of course not.
I don't think he wants to directly, ignite. I think when he was playing up like, oh, I have a wife and with a child on the way, if he really wanted to make a claim to the throne, if he could have actually followed through on that, he could have found any girl, got her pregnant and married her,
or his wife. He already has a wife.
Yeah, if he didn't like her, if he was
and
really,
Aaron, no less, like a high.
If he was really
lady.
trying to go all out with the rebellion, he could have easily done it. He's had 6 months to do whatever he wants. And the fact that all he did was, like, build up his forces and then make a fake threat.
Yeah. What he wanted was to piss off his brother. That's what he wanted. He wanted to. Well, I think it was also a test. He's being very petulant and childish, where he's like, I bet he'll come here and start a war with me. I don't
even think he necessarily wants to start a war. I think he just wants him to come here and show
I think he was goading him. I think that he was trying to see if he would do what Hightower did, what Hightower ended up doing. I was thinking he was going to see like, he's doing this. He's like he's going in his face and seeing how he'll react, and then just like if he fights, then I didn't kill my brother. Not in a schemey way, but in a a pissed off kid way. Like he's being a shithead and he's acting out like a child. But he's such a good character. Anyway, that's all I have to say.
Yeah, I think that's it. Please
leave a like and subscribe.
Bye-bye.